It's a privilege to be here tonight at these awards. Really appreciate the support that we've been given. So thank you so much. I want to start by giving you a little bit of background about me and my story. So my day job is working for a security company called Selected DNA, and as a volunteer, I'm a trustee for the charity Cardiac Risk in the Young. I became involved in the charity about 19 years ago, and it started when my wife and I had decided to take part in a 10k run in London, the British 10k, and it was a lovely sunny day in July, 2nd of July, and we took part in the run. I finished a little bit before her and was waiting for her. And expecting her to have finished as the time went by, but there was a huge amount of people running. So I then noticed some paramedics rush past me, and I thought it's very unlikely that it's going to be anything serious to do with my wife Katrina. But I thought I'd wander down just in case, because it was a good 10-20 minutes after I thought she would have finished. So I did walk down to the finish line, and Katrina had collapsed at the finish line and was being given CPR. She was fit, 30-year-old, very active, very healthy, enjoyed everything to do with exercise, sport, and healthy living. She was rushed to hospital here in London at St Thomas's, and having waited in the waiting room for about 30 minutes to hear news of what had happened, I was told by a doctor that sadly that she hadn't survived. So that started my journey with cardiac risk in the young. Well, almost my brother in the days afterwards decided to do a bit of research and find a charity that I could focus my attention on and hopefully help other people. So over the years, we did fundraising for cardiac risk in the young, and eventually a year or two ago, I became a trustee of the charity. So that's my story. Up on stage tonight should have been Dr. Steve Cox, who is an incredible guy. His mum started the charity, an equally incredible woman, and he should have been here speaking to you, and he's given me the notes that he was going to say, which I decided to read out to you, because he obviously can do a lot better job of explaining the charity to you than I can. So just very briefly, at Cardiac Risk in the Young, our mission is simple but urgent: to prevent the tragedy of young sudden cardiac death. Every week in the UK, at least 12 apparently fit and healthy young people die suddenly from undiagnosed heart conditions. That's 12 families every week facing unimaginable loss. But there is hope. Through our pioneering cardiac screening programme, CRY has now tested more than 330,000 young people, identifying more than 1,000 young people with a potentially life-threatening condition. We are testing more than 30,000 people every year, from Olympic athletes to kids who just enjoy kicking a ball around in the park. Our service is open to any young person aged 14 to 35. 1 in 300 people we test will be identified with a serious condition. Screening does save lives, and for us it's about taking a stand and showing what can be achieved and leading the way in establishing a healthcare pathway that doesn't wait for tragedy, but does all it can to prevent the tragedy from happening. Why does CRY want every young person to have the opportunity to have their heart tested? Well, behind every number is a story. A young athlete able to continue their career safely, having had corrective surgery, a teenager given life-saving treatment to prevent a cardiac arrest, a family spared the devastation of losing a child. CRY could not do this alone. We work alongside world-leading cardiologists, researchers, and thousands of bereaved families who channel their grief into positive change. And we rely on partnerships with businesses, communities, and innovators who help us expand our reach, raising awareness and impact. As well as screening young people, CRY is here to support families after tragedies, helping families understand how something so terrible could happen, help families not be alone at such a time of darkness, and to help young people living with these conditions to have the best quality of life. We have huge demand for our services and we need to be able to respond to that demand. That is why our research is answering today's questions and developing new ways to identify those at greatest risk. We are leading the field in research, and rapid progress we are making in machine learning and AI will mean we will make heart screening more accessible for all young people in the very near future. So on behalf of everyone at CRY, thank you very much for your support tonight. It means a great deal and for helping to save young lives. Thank you very much.